Hey everybody, my name's Rob and I want to show you a quick demonstration how to create fonts from your own lettering. I've been a lettering artist and type designer for more than 30 years. In my Tool2Type workshop, you can learn the intricacies of using the powerful font development program called Glyphs and be on your way to making stunning fonts from your own hand-lettered styles. Before I get into the demonstration, there are a few things you'll need if you're interested in taking my workshop. Using Glyphs requires a Macintosh computer, although I have heard of ways to use Glyphs on a PC, but to be honest, I'm not sure what's required. In addition, you'll need a way to send your lettering to your computer. A scanner is best, but it is possible to use your phone to photograph your work. The important thing is to be able to send it to your computer and then copy and paste it into the Glyphs program. Lastly, of course, you'll need the program Glyphs to do the actual font designing. A truncated version called Glyphs Mini is available and is less expensive than the full version. The latest version at the time of this video is 3.0. It's preferred, but an older version of Glyphs could be used. You can find the Glyphs app at www.glyphsapp.com. Let's get into what you can expect by taking the workshop. Years ago, I worked on a project doing word art for a client. I asked my friend Michael Clark to help with some of the designs. Here you can see some of the words we created. Those in red are my work, and I eventually converted them to full-fledged fonts. Let's take a look at Michael's beautiful word blessings and show some of the process of converting his hand lettering into a font. The scanned image has been copied and pasted into a new Photoshop document. Don't worry if you don't have Photoshop. There are other means by which you can transfer the lettering into the Glyphs program. As you can see, the lettering is in its own layer. I'll be manipulating this layer to prepare it. I'm going to use the wand tool to select everything you see in black. From there, I just go to Paths, make a work path. I usually select the tolerance at a 2. And now you can see that there are vector paths highlighted in blue. Now these vector paths can be copied and pasted straight into Glyphs. So let's jump over to Glyphs, and before we start, I just want to show you a few things about how the program works. I'm going to go into Menu, select New, and what appears is a Glyph file. This is a source file, sort of like a document that you create for a PDF. It's not the PDF, but it will generate into a PDF, if that makes sense. Let me select this letter A, and I'm going to show you a few things about what you're seeing. As you can see in the background, there's a letter A template. That's just to tell you that that is the letter A cell that we're working with. Once you start putting nodes in, that letter will disappear. Also in the background is the bounding box. These horizontal and vertical lines show you the attributes of this particular glyph cell. The horizontal lines are actually global throughout the entire font. A blank glyph always starts out with a 600 width as the default. Basically, they correspond to numeric values found here in the information box. And of course, that can be manipulated once you start working. Okay, I think I'm ready to start editing, so let me jump back here to Photoshop. The vector paths are already selected, so I'll just go ahead and hit copy. Let me jump back to Glyphs, and I'll put this in the letter B. I'll hit paste, and then I'll just scale it to size. I'm enlarging this so that the letter B is fitting in the bounding box. Now I've gone ahead and I've pasted the rest of the letters into a background layer of the B glyph cell. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead. So I've pasted all of the letters into their corresponding glyph cells, and you'll notice that there are 3 S's, all different shapes. So I had to create alternate characters for each of those S's. Okay, so I've got the word in the background template. This is just as a reference. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in the entire word, and you'll see that the spacing is really off. And that's the purpose for having the background template. I can take this and paste it into each glyph cell background, and that'll show me where exactly I need to place the side bearings. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move ahead, and I'm going to take care of the rest of the spacing. And there's one other thing I need to show you. In order to be more accurate with the side bearings, I use these little tick marks. These tick marks are the registration for the left and right side bearings of each character. So what I would do is I would copy each letter plus the tick marks, and then I know exactly where to place the side bearings for that particular character. Once I've pasted it into the glyph cell and got the side bearings correct, I can just delete the tick marks. So there you have it. The font is basically identical to what Michael had created. Based on the letters that are there, I can then create the rest of the font. Obviously, this font isn't an entire character set, and so I would have to design each letter to make it consistent with the word that you're seeing here. Before I go any further, I think I might want to go ahead and save this because I'd hate to lose all that work. I'll go into File, hit Save, and I'll just name it Blessings. And I'll leave it on my desktop. And there it is. Now there are a few other housekeeping things that I need to take care of. I need to make sure that the metrics are correct. As you can see, the ascender is way up here, and obviously the X height isn't correct. To change those variables, I go into the font information. I'm going to select a node on top of the letter B, and that'll tell me where the cap height needs to be. It looks like the cap height needs to be about 580. I'll go into Information, change that to 580. I'm going to make the X height 375. And now you can see that these variables have changed. Let's type in the word blessings. And notice right now the S's are all identical. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is a pretty bouncy style, so the X height isn't of super great importance. Let me go back to the information window. The font name definitely needs to change, so I'll change that to Blessings. Let's see what else. I'm not going to bother filling in this other information. Okay, the font's ready to generate. I'm going to go into the File menu. I'll hit Export. I'll get this little box and make sure I select OTF. And when I hit Next, you'll see it appear on the desktop. Now I'm going to open it with Font Book and load the font. I know I'm working quickly, but that's okay. Okay, so now that the font is loaded on my computer, let's jump back to Photoshop. And let's see what it looks like. I'll go ahead and type Blessings. The default is Myriad Pro, so I need to change the font name. I'll go into the character, type in Blessings, and there it is. And as you can see, we're pretty close. We've got 3 S's that are the same, so I need to change each of those. The programming allows me to change that fairly easily. And let's resize this and see how it matches up. I need to move it a little bit more. And it's pretty darn close. And there we go. We created a font in a fairly short amount of time. Okay, that's it. I hope I've piqued your interest, and I hope you can join me in the Tool2Type workshop.